falsehoods, half-truths, insinuations, speculations about my motivations and that kind of thing. On one of the videos here on this channel, Protect Animal Life. It's not about this type of pterosaur. The critic doesn't know much about what he or she was talking about. People say that they're leathery. When they report an eyewitness sighting of a pterosaur, a parent pterodactyl, I can tell you that the common one is this type here. This is a ropin. We call it the ropin. It's long tail, that flange at the end of the tail. It's common. In fact, years ago, I did a compilation of statistics about what people see and what people report to me, at least. And it was a 19-to-1 ratio of the long tails when compared with the parent pterodactyls that did not have long tails. That's a huge ratio. That this person, first of all, he said, reports say that these creatures are leathery. Modern pterosaurs are leathery. And that we know for sure that they weren't, because the scientists say that pterosaurs in the past had hair or fur or some type of a covering. There's a problem with the way that this critic handled it. X said something like this, that, they can't be real because we know that pterosaurs had fur, and these are reports of leathery things, and it comes from something else. But the critic also said, well, they can't be pterosaurs because pterosaurs would have changed over the vast ages, and you can't have something that doesn't change. So in other words, it can't be a pterosaur because it looks different than the pterosaurs of the past, but it can't be a pterosaur because it looks the same. It's just insinuating a contradiction there. That's, it has a fur in the past, so it has to have fur in the present, but it can't be the same as the past because then it could be impossible. So it's a big contradiction here. We need to remember that pterosaurs are thought of like dinosaurs being extinct millions of years ago. This is an assumption, because if you look at it, that the scientists now who have been examining fossils of pterosaurs and dinosaurs for generations, many to many decades, they don't know all the species that lived in the past, nothing remotely like that. There should have been a huge number of different types and species of dinosaurs and pterosaurs that lived in sometime in the distant past. So they don't know about those. They haven't found the fossils yet. There's just not that many fossils of that kind of animal, especially pterosaurs. So what are we dealing with is trying to distinguish between the concept of general extinction of dinosaurs and pterosaurs, and specifically the idea, have all pterosaurs gone extinct? All their species, all their types, gone extinct a long time ago? That's a very different question than the general concept of extinctions a long time ago. Now, why do I believe in living pterosaurs? I've never had a really good sighting myself. 3 times since I've lived in Utah, I've seen something that possibly could be, but that doesn't count much. I don't usually mention those. I don't consider those good sightings at all. But I get a lot of good sightings from many people in North America, including Utah. So why is it that the scientists haven't paid attention? Well, some of them have. Scientists have paid attention. Not all of them, of course, or we would have had the big news about it. But there are a number of scientists, including myself, who have done research, published and written scientific papers in peer-reviewed journals. And they're not nonsense just because they go contrary to popular ideas about a general idea of pterosaur extinction. Let's take a case where Susan Wooten in South Carolina a number of years ago, a few decades now, she saw a pterodactyl, she called it, huge, flying over the highway in plain daylight as she was driving. And she said it's gigantic, had a long tail, no feathers, big wingspan. She's allowed her name to be used for all these years, Susan Wooten.